Today I have 4 stories from Reddit I would love to narrate for you guys. Mirrors are magical. They are portals to your past and harbingers of days to come, all at the same time. They show us who we are and they remind us of what we've done. As I stand before my wife's dresser mirror, the full moon lights spilling across our bedroom, I'm reminded of many things. I see the smile that used to occasionally adorn my visage, and I see all the anxiety this life has heaped upon my shoulders. I see the scar on my chin, the one I received when I was 7, when the class bully decided to make me the object of his emesis. The scar, it has come to symbolize any number of life's disillusionments. I'm always reminded of them when I see it. I see the anger in my eyes jaded by too many broken promises of how life would get better, would get easier, if only I look at things from the proper perspective. It was all about attitude, see? Rubbish. Life was hard, period. Life only gets more difficult, more laden with stress and disappointment. Attitude adjustment are nothing more than a fool's pacifiers. And my lovely wife, I can't even count on her. I can't trust her to take her pills, to not get pregnant and bring another unexpected life into this meat grinding existence. How cruel to bring a child into this world and tell him the same lies parents have been telling their children since the beginning of time. The world is basically good. People are basically good. Things tend to work out in the end. My son came home from school today with a busted lip and watery eyes. I didn't have to hear his story to know what happened. That was some demonic bullying that had fed him a knuckle sandwich just because he could, and it broke my heart to hear my wife confront him to tell him the same lies I've been told when I was a boy. Newsflash, the world isn't basically a good place. People aren't basically good. Things don't tend to work out in the end. How could she sit there and feed him nonsense in such a curious way? How could she be so cruel? Sometime after, it occurred to me that I wasn't powerless, but I can intervene in a meaningful way and save my wretched son from his pitiful fate. I turned from my mirror and saw them there, both lying on our bed in a loving embrace, and once again I felt the weight of the world lift from my shoulders. I stared at them dumbly, and it occurred to me that the blood spilled down their throats and across their chests truly seemed more silver than red. Sick. I can never sleep without putting a podcast for some background noise. Stir the pot, it's called. I usually only catch a couple of conversations before I'm out. I barely remember what they were talking about. Last night. Something about witchcraft, was it? Well, I guess it caught my attention tonight because I'm still awake. Wasn't there a crazy accident the other day? Morgan, I think her name was. The other girl, Jade, responded, "Yeah, isn't it so crazy? We were just talking about getting stuck between elevator doors and like that." And it was his head too. Poor guy. I actually found out about that other podcast. Jade changed topics. Morgan followed along, lighting up the mood. "Why the hell are you listening to our competitors?" Jade laughed. "Hear me out before you punish me for it." There was a small pause. Morgan was waiting for Jade to make her case. "Listen, I just can't sleep without putting on a podcast for some background noise." Hey, just like me, that's funny. "I usually only catch a couple conversations before I'm out though." Jade continues, giving me deja vu. "Oh yeah? What if the conversation is too interesting and you can't fall asleep?" "Not gonna lie, the one last night was very interesting." Morgan chuckled. "Don't you get nightmares from listening to that before bed?" "I mostly get paranoid." She pauses, and it sounds like she's taking a sip. "Like, what if someone's in my house while I'm laying there just listening to true crime?" Just then, my cat decides to cry out loud enough to make me jump. That cat's always up to something, I swear. If I'm not paying attention while someone is literally trying to open my door to my room or something, Morgan's quiet. I hear it crackling outside my door and I wonder if it's my cat again. Pickle? When I don't hear anything, I open my eyes and I stare at the white door, waiting. Or what if I think it's Pickle running around? That cat's always up to something. What? Morgan piped up after being silent for a while. Wouldn't you check just in case? I got off my bed, the wooden floor squeaks under my weight. I guess so. Better to be safe than sorry. I hesitantly make my way over to the door. I'm being silly, but what if they know you're coming? Morgan says in a mocking deep voice, then crackles high pitched and loud. That's silly, Morgan. Jade isn't laughing. I reach for the doorknob. It's cold against my skin. You're gonna end up murdered, I swear. A loud slam as I swung the door open. After Morgan finished the introduction, she slammed her hands on the table. Did you hear about the stabbing last night? Oh my god, what happened? Jade looked wide-eyed at her co-star. Break-in gone wrong. That's crazy. Weren't we just talking about something like that the other day? Being a single mom is a pretty difficult job. I don't really like calling it a job because I truly love my daughter. A beautiful girl who just turned 18. She's always how I imagine my daughter would look like. She has beautiful green eyes, unlike mine, probably from her dad. Yesterday on her birthday, she told me via text message that she wanted to contact her biological father. I had already told her before that I used a sperm donor and that I don't know him. But she was apparently pretty adamant about contacting him. I didn't really have the time to process this. I'll deal with her once I'm done with my shift. I work as a midwife. I love my job and enjoy guiding moms through their pregnancies and eventually bringing their children into the world. Today I had 2 moms in labor. The first one was easy. She got through it like a champ. I like to think that I had a little to do with that. She had a cute little girl. The girl was stunning as far as babies goes. Unlike her mom, they really didn't fit as mother and daughter. The second mom had it more difficult. I kept feeding her ice chips and helped her through her long and tiresome labor. But eventually she gave birth to an ugly little baby, a tiny girl with a huge nose. This baby too seemed odd compared to her mom. After that, I made sure to assign the identity braces to the babies appropriately. Then I clocked out and went home. I was met with my daughter. Did you get my text messages? I want to contact my dad. Yes, I did. I don't think I got one of those Find My Heritage DNA test appointment set. I'm going to take it, so that will make finding him easier. This escalated quickly. I couldn't let that happen. I knew what I had to do. I started to cry uncontrollably. I always knew this day would come. You were going to find your dad and leave me, I said while sobbing. No, Mom, what are you? Haven't I provided enough love for you? I can't believe you're doing this to me. My only daughter is going to leave me for a man she never met. I blurted out through the convincing stuffing and cheers. Mom, that's not at all what I'm doing. I kept doing this until she gave up. I made her promise she'll never do that. She can never know what I did. Can never know that I did have a sperm donor baby, but the baby was ugly and didn't fit me. She can't know that I swiped the identity braces from my real daughter with hers. She looked exactly how I always imagined my daughter would look like. So I knew we would fit as a family. Those are all the stories I have for you guys. I always film late, but this is like not accidental. This is purposely. I do things at night. If you like my content, please like and subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, like this video, share it if you like, go on my Instagram and stalk me there. Bye.